Well, welcome to the United Center in Chicago. Jason Shepherd, Dave Noriega. That's right, the Cougar Sports Saturday crew on a road Jazz game. And if you've been following our journey, our RV journey, thanks to General RV on KSL.com, as well as KSL News Radio and KSL Television, you know that we left Salt Lake City on Tuesday, headed for Madison, Wisconsin, because the BYU Cougars are taking on the Wisconsin Badgers on Saturday. And so, Dave, we thought, you know what, why not add another 3-hour drive to our very long trip to begin with, to come see the Jazz on the road, and unfortunately, it was another loss for the Jazz.
3 hours each way. I mean, that's
3 hours each way. We're going back to Madison tonight.
We made the drive out here. Now we're going to finish this up, head out. Well, we wanted to see what this team can do on the road, because what a team does at home is different than what they do on the road, because it's very easy to be buoyed up by your home fans, and we've seen that with the Jazz. They've played well at home, even though they've lost. And again, they're 0-6 now after this loss with the Bulls. They are playing well at times, and they're just not playing well in long enough stretches. Today on the road against a really good Chicago team, we saw they played bad for a long time and in very long stretches. It was actually like a complete game. Wouldn't you say it's a complete game of awful basketball play?
Yeah, and I think that's more than the record of 0-6. I think that is the cause for concern for the Jazz players and the Jazz coaches, is that it's the mental mistakes. And you understand that as a young team especially, you have to learn to win on the road. So you know that that's going to take time, but some of the mental mistakes, I mean, they shot 29% tonight, and that's going to happen from time to time. The Bulls are a good defensive team, but errant passes and turnovers that just don't seem they don't need to be there. It just seems to be completely unwarranted, and I think that's what is concerning to the coaches, is just sometimes you don't know what this team is doing.
Right. And when you watch them, you think, wow, this team is really bad offensively. And like you said, 29% is just horrible. But I was surprised at how bad they were defensively. In the first quarter, the Bulls shot 72%. They shot 60% for the entire first half, at least with defense. And this is what Jerry Sloan always preached. You can always play defense. Your shots may not always be falling, but you can always play defense. And that's what we're not seeing from the Jazz. And when you have this young team, that's what you almost have to hope for, is some good defense, stay in the game. And if there's not good defense, then you don't get those easy buckets, which, again, contributes to the bad shooting percentage. But I mean, of course, this is what we look for, right? This is not unexpected. We expected the Jazz to be bad. And there's no sense in being any better, right? I mean, is there any sense whatsoever in being any better? Because you're without your really future point guard in Trey Burke, and you're dealing with some veteran injuries. Jeremy Evans is out, Brandon Rush is half out, and as is Marvin Williams. So some of that veteran stability that you were hoping for, you just don't have. Some of the young guard play that you could get these guys to play together, you don't have when Trey Burke's out. So it's not unexpected. It's not a big surprise. And again, all Jazz fans want to see, I think, and all I am looking for is progress. You want to see some flashes from these young guys, which you have gotten. It just wasn't tonight.
Well, and I asked Gordon Hayward after the game tonight in the locker room if he, what's the frustration level? Are you able to kind of keep things into perspective, knowing, as you mentioned, that you don't have your full complement of players, right, that it's early in this season? Like, yeah, we can do that, but the more you lose, the more frustrated. It's just a natural reaction. You get frustrated when you're not playing well and you're not winning basketball games. And I think that's one of the biggest things this young team, and we keep saying this young team, and we'll continue to say it, they've got to find a way to not get so down on themselves that it makes their play even worse. They've got to find a way to realize it's a building process.
They couldn't score against Carlos Boozer's defense.
Which is non-existent.
It's non-existent. But nevertheless, you have some veteran guys. Joakim Noah obviously is a fantastic defender. So I can see why Enes Kanter would struggle to score against that guy. I understand that. But Derek Favors continues this offensive funk. And he needs to be able to rebound. He needs to be able to block shots, play some defense. And the problem is just none of it's coming together. The team defense isn't there. The individual effort isn't there. And it's hard to play smart. It's hard to play with energy when you're losing. And when you're a young player, it's hard to stick that and put that outside of your mind. because it's just depressing, and it's hard to keep your energy up, I think.
Well, and the Jazz have one more game on this trip. They will get on a plane right now, head to Toronto to finish up the trip against the Raptors on Saturday night. In the meantime, we are going to close up shop here in Chicago, get back in the General RV, and head to Madison, Wisconsin to get ready for BYU and Wisconsin. Do not forget that pregame coverage on KSL News Radio will begin at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time, and we'll have the kickoff for you at 1:30 Mountain Time. For Dave Noriega, I'm Jason Shepherd for SportsBeat.